Hello and welcome everybody to Charlie Carries. My name's Charlie, and I just wanted to do a quick upload of something exciting that I got in the mail today. In this case, I got one of the pre-orders for the 711L inline ratchet, a direct competitor to the Leatherman inline ratchet. When you get it in the mail, it comes well packaged in a hard fabric case. Open it up. It's installed on this little 3D printed plastic piece. That's how you can tell that it's definitely one of their earlier versions. I'm sure that they'll have this injection molded at some point. The case itself is pretty nice and has some additional storage if you want to keep it in there and keep it with some bits. You also get an included metal lanyard, and the ratchet itself is held in place by this little magnet. You can push it right out. First impressions, much heavier than your Leatherman ratchet and a significantly bit wider and a little bit taller. Right now, this is going to be coming in at its widest point at just under 22 centimeters at 21.79, 22 millimeters, excuse me, at 21.79. Whereas your Leatherman ratchet at its widest point is going to be just under 15 millimeters in size. Also in length, the Leatherman is going to be a bit shorter at 82, just over 82 mils, where your 711L is coming in at 87 millimeters. Something that I really like is the way that they decided to secure their bits. It is completely compatible with Leatherman bits, as well as some of the short stubbies that I like to use with my much smaller 711L ratchet that I've been using for a while as a bike tool. The little stubby bits are still proud enough to where they are useful, and I can still pull them out. Even if I were to have a little bit of trouble getting them out, I could always push up on this magnet, pull it right out, no problem. Whereas the Leatherman, these little bits have a tendency to just get buried and are much harder to retrieve and pretty useless when it all is said and done, because you run into a lot of interference from the shaft itself. And they're also almost impossible to get out. I have to use another tool to actually get them out of my Leatherman. When you have this in the lock position, very little wiggle, but there is still a little bit of play. Very normal with any ratcheting screwdriver. And I'd say it's pretty comparable to the play on my Leatherman. The ratchet itself is a little bit smoother than my Leatherman. Leatherman seems to have come with like a dead spot where it feels a little bit tighter and puts a little bit more drag on the ratchet. Whereas I believe is a little bit more precisely machined and is a much smoother, easier ratchet in forward or reverse. Both also are completely fine accommodating the Leatherman bits, where you will have a little bit of wiggle side to side, but nothing that's going to be objectively horrible to work with. Even though the Leatherman's a tiny bit less because of that deeper well. One of the nicest things about this ratchet is the fact that if you keep it in lock position, you can clamp down on it and turn it into an L wrench. And it doesn't have to be locked. You can still use it as a ratchet, which is just much nicer and going to give you a lot more force, especially when you have it installed on your Leatherman and are pushing down and getting that torque. They do not currently have torque ratings on this. I believe that they do plan on releasing that at some point. And I feel like it's going to be at least double what the Leatherman's torque rating is. But I'm going to get some more testing into it this week and get a video out later and stay tuned for that. Any questions, please comment below, and I will try to respond to as many as possible. Thanks.